on-premise connectors. So basically, these middleware technologies enable on-premise applications to interact with applications deployed on cloud. So we will take a peek into it. And finally, I'm going to run through a couple of examples with regards to the runtime architecture of having a BPM solution in the cloud and how it would impact an IT infrastructure landscape. So the first example is by having a BPM solution in the cloud, and second example is having a BPM solution on-premise and how the BPM solution will interact with various SaaS-based and process-based applications. So I'm going to finish this presentation at one stretch and possibly take your questions towards the end of the presentation. Okay, to begin with, what is a business process? So from the early days of man, right from man graced earth, and right from the days he invented spears and weapons, and right from the days he invented wheel to machines, everything had process involvement. So without process in place, probably man wouldn't have done these things. So for example, if you walk across your street to a nearby grocery store, or if you take a look into your Fortune 100 company, these two things have one thing in common. Basically, these two enterprises, buy some goods and they sell some goods. And in between, with the buying and selling, they obviously make a profit, because without profit, they wouldn't even exist. So when somebody buys the goods, they transform it into a different product, probably a finished product, and sell it off. So there is a transformation in between. And this transformation involves process. And that is what we are concerned about. How we can manage this process more effectively. So at first place, why do we want to manage this? So to bring down the operational cost. So if somebody brings down the operational cost, obviously an enterprise can increase its profits, and that is the bottom line. So how can process be managed effectively to decrease operational cost? So operational cost is not only the only advantage, but with effectively managing process, one can increase the quality, and one can probably improve the standard of the product, probably improve the customer satisfaction. So process plays a very important aspect, in all these things. So how does BPM help effectively manage this? So basically, BPM is all about creating value more effectively. So let's see how BPM would help that. So before that, let's quickly review another example. So from now, we should be already aware that all businesses have processes. So if you take a fictional example, let's say in a bank of Neverland, let's talk about a loan processing process. So a customer walks into your bank, fills out a form for a loan application, requesting a loan. He hands it over to the loan agent. The loan agent quickly punches in some details into a system, probably a CRM system, and he hands over some paperwork to a back office agent. The back office agent, perform some kind of an SSN check or a background check against the customer and reports it to a manager. So the manager now have two choices, either to approve the loan or reject the loan, and he does it on his judgment. So basically, this is a very simple process, straightforward, no chaos. But what happens when this process grows? So, and I hope everybody will understand that in a real world, these kind of simple process never exist. It's always much more complex than what I've described. Now, so what happens when these processes grow? So instead of being one loan application, we have hundreds of loan applications across different branches spread across a whole country. So now the complexity increases. How will the loan manager know what loans are approved and what loans are rejected, and what are the rejection reasons? So basically, a loan manager needs to have the visibility. And if a loan has been rejected, a loan manager needs to know why it got rejected and needs to know in real time, as opposed to knowing after the loan being rejected after say a day or two. So he wants to take an immediate action. So basically, with the manual process, when the process grows, it becomes chaotic, and it just increases the lack of visibility. So how can BPM solve this problem? So before we talk about